What were the long-term effects of the Falklands War? Have you ever wondered how a conflict over a remote group of islands could shape an entire region's politics and identity? The Falklands War of 1980 to between Argentina and the United Kingdom had several long-lasting effects, especially within Latin American culture and politics. First, let's talk about the political and diplomatic effects. The war strengthened a sense of solidarity among Latin American countries regarding Argentina's claim over the Falkland Islands. Most nations in the region view these islands as Argentine territory. This shared stance has been consistently voiced in regional forums, like the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States. Even Chile, which initially supported Britain during the conflict due to its own territorial disputes, now acknowledges Argentina's claim. This solidarity has led to significant actions. For instance, Peru has denied visits by British naval vessels, and Mexico withdrew from the Rio Treaty in 2002, partly due to the lack of support for Argentina during the war. The conflict highlighted the limitations of collective defense agreements and prompted a reevaluation of regional security strategies. Next, consider the impact on United States and Latin American relations. The United States supported Britain during the war, which complicated its relationship with Latin American countries. While there was no immediate backlash, the war contributed to a decline in United States influence in the region over the following decades. Latin American nations began to diversify their international relations, with Argentina notably strengthening ties with China and Russia. This shift reflects a broader trend of countries in the region seeking greater independence in their foreign policies. The military and security implications of the war were also noteworthy. The conflict showcased the military capabilities of British forces, which were closely observed by global powers like the Soviet Union and China. However, within Latin America, the focus remained on internal challenges such as insurgencies, drug trafficking, and social unrest. The war did not significantly alter these priorities but did emphasize the limits of military power in resolving territorial disputes. For the inhabitants of the Falkland Islands, the war had profound consequences. They faced occupation and bombardments during the conflict. Afterward, their relationship with Britain strengthened, as the islanders received full British citizenship and assistance in rebuilding their infrastructure. The presence of landmines and destruction required extensive reconstruction efforts, which deepened the Iceland's ties to Britain and solidified their status as a British overseas territory. From a cultural perspective, the Falklands War symbolized a moment of regional unity and a reaffirmation of sovereignty claims against colonial powers. It also exposed the limitations of regional defense mechanisms and highlighted the need for Latin American countries to develop more autonomous political and security strategies. The conflict remains a sensitive chapter in Latin American history, reflecting broader themes of post-colonial identity, regional solidarity, and the struggle for self-determination. In summary, the long-term effects of the Falklands War include strengthened support for Argentina's sovereignty claims, a shift in regional diplomatic alignments, reaffirmation of British sovereignty for the Falkland Islanders, and ongoing reflections on regional security and identity within Latin America.